May God give you. Go! Quick!
Whoa! Whoa!
Quick!
Whoa!
Quick!
Oh,
Go!
whoa!
See some woman, are you?
I wish. Haven't you heard the stories about this place?
What stories?
They say the ghost peasant who murdered his entire family. Stop messing about!
Oh, don't pretend. What the hell is going on?
Pacify him! Quick!
Why is he shooting?
Do it!
Take
Shot
that!
steel up your ass!
Fuck yourself! Oh, what? I'm bleeding?
Christ! I'm bleeding! Go! Good people!
Oh,
Learn that the church is rotten. Hear what Master Jan Hus of Prague teaches us. Priests wallow in gold, while their falsehoods and indulgences condemn all Christendom to eternal torture. Can that be right? Salvation cannot be for sale. But what do they say? Pay and you shall be forgiven. Have you stolen? Pay! Have you killed? Pay! Are you the devil himself? Pay and you shall go to heaven. The prelates spout empty words. Their bellies may be full, but their heads are empty. Fat arses and empty spaces where their hearts should be. They offer salvation to anyone who fills their coffers.
Praise the Lord.
What would you like?
I'll have a look at your wares.
Happy to be of service, sir. What would you like?
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, and come again, sir.
Greetings.
What nice smell.
No, I was starting to think someone wanted to ambush me. Good.
What smells good here? Jesus Christ be praised.
Are you being cautious or... What's that pleasant scent?
Watch out for witches. Watch out for witches.
Here you are, you murderer! Surrender, now!
All right! You caught me. I surrender.
You're a wanted man. There's no excuse for murder, you swine. Now you'll pay.
Wait, let me explain.
Talk then, but make it quick.
That man was a dangerous bandit and a murderer. I did the right thing.
What the hell are you talking about? He never seemed like a bandit to me.
Well, that's not something he's going to go about announcing, is it?
Right. But I'd expect he'd be at least a little suspicious. I reckon you're a filthy liar. You're a murderer, and you're trying to cover it up.
Wait, I want to atone. And I'll pay the blood money.
Paying a family for someone's life doesn't come cheap. Do you have the money?
I do.
Very well. Custom allows it. I'll make sure the money goes to the family. Now show me what you've got. Let's see if you have anything stolen on you.
All right. Have a look then.
Well, well. What do we have here? This is obviously stolen. I'm confiscating it, all right? That, along with indulgence, should be enough. But I don't want to see anything like that again. What are you waiting for? On your way.
Come for a whipping, eh?
May you remain in good health. Your father sent me.
So I can tell you how to get to our fortress. A task for the lowest lackey, wouldn't you say? Well, you don't need to answer that. You took your time about it. Didn't you say, perchance, that you were in a hurry?
Well, yes, but how did you know that?
What are you staring at? Do you think I was born yesterday? I was listening to you from the top of the stairs. So, this passage, it leads to the cellars, but the outside entrance is hidden underground in a forest, not far from the castle. You can find the exact place if you know where and how to look.
Is it in a cave hidden behind a waterfall?
Well, no. But it would be nice. Listen, nearby Malashov is a stud farm managed by Hashtal, an old friend of Papa's. We had a wayside shrine set up at the crossroads before the stud farm.
A wayside shrine? How do you mean?
Are you a Christian at all? Never mind. It's a big white column. You can't miss it. From the shrine, you should be able to see a group of boulders. Beyond them are the remains of an old chapel. You have to find it, and then there's a kind of... how can I describe it? A window. A gap you can look through.
If it's still standing.
I hope so too. Anyway, it should direct you towards some ruins. Go there. And now pay attention. Somewhere in those ruins is a stone cross. You have to find it and look where its top points to. If you go the way the cross is pointing, you'll find another one, and again follow the direction it's pointing in. That should lead you to a small clearing, marked by a cross in the rocks. You dig there, and you should get to the passageway.
That's a really cunning solution. No random fool would ever find it.
That was exactly my intention when I thought it up. Thanks, Henry. I think you're no fool, so you shouldn't have any trouble. And that's not all. Getting into the castle is the easy part. Don't forget, you have to get out too.
You're right. Horses will be needed. For me and for Capon.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fortunately, I know how to arrange that. Stop off at the stud farm I told you about, and ask Hashtal for horses.
Where's the catch?
No catch. On the contrary, please tell Hashtal that Papa is still paying for masses for his dead father, as agreed years ago. And even if he's not too keen, tell him we'll pay him for the horses.
You got it well figured out. Thanks. Don't know how I'd manage without you.
You've done plenty to help, and now it's our turn. Papa said something like that, didn't he? You know, you might not be aware of it, but you saved us from a mountain of trouble. Papa would never admit it, but alone, we wouldn't be able to resist the Mint Master for long. You've earned the right to the gratitude and friendship of our house for all time.
Would you like to come with me? At least I'll be sure to find that place.
Would you seriously want me there? What if something were to go wrong? Wouldn't a girl like me be more of a burden to you?
Well, you wouldn't be a burden to me. Quite the opposite. I've already seen you know how to take care of yourself.
Thank you. But I can't go nevertheless. Papa would jump out of his skin if he even heard of such a thing. That's why I would like to ask you for one favor, but you mustn't breathe a word of it to anyone. Understand?
I'm listening.
I wanted to ask you, since you're going to be at Malashov, if you could bring me something from there.
And what might that be?
A book. It has great value to me, and I was starting to worry it would stay there forever. But if you're going there now...
And what book is this that's so important?
It's hard to explain to someone uninitiated in the mysteries of writing.
What do you mean, uninitiated? I happen to know how to read.
Really? Mea culpa. You are full of surprises. So if you do find the book, you'll be able to read it.
Well, yeah. That's the way it goes with books.
In that case, I'm not going to make it easy for you. If you'd like to know why it's so important to me, you'll have to find it first.
Fear not, my lady. I'll gladly tear the entire fortress apart to find that book for you.
Restraint, valiant knight. I value your determination, but this way would give yourself away immediately, and I'd remain without my book. Find it nice and quietly, then come back.
Your wish is my command.
It shouldn't be hard. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. You won't find many like such there. And take this, so you don't get lost in the fortress.
Thank you.
It is quite possible you won't get back to Malashov again. So don't forget about me. And Henry, be careful.
Oh, and about that secret passage to Malashov. How did you find that secret passageway back then?
I'm glad you ask, because it's a really interesting story. It all started when I was 12. One morning, I found a bat nailed to the Malashov gate. Peculiar, eh?
Not really. Bats are creatures of the night. They flit around while good Christians are asleep, often carrying out the will of witches, or even the devil himself.
but a bat nailed up actually repels all evil and protects the house against sickness.
Well now, I have to admire your knowledge. That's exactly what the chambermaid told me too. The thing that I was most interested in was where they got that bat. You know, I was awfully inquisitive back then. Embroidery wasn't exactly my passion, and Papa forbade me from riding out into the woods, so at least I explored the fortress from top to bottom.
I know all about that. Not that I ever embroidered, but Pa never let me stray too far from home.
Parents have no understanding for the adventurous soul, do they? But back to the bats. I found out from the guards that they caught the poor creatures somewhere in the cellars. So I went to have a look there and found a whole swarm of them. I followed them for a while, and I noticed that in one corner they simply disappeared into a wall. Strange, isn't it? I was full of curiosity, and I talked Papa into having the wall demolished. I remember there was even a priest there at the time, and he wasn't at all happy about it. He was afraid we'd dig into hell. But as you probably guessed, there was nothing behind the wall but a passageway leading off into darkness.
My word, you're right. That is a really good story. And I didn't expect that ending at all. You're really sharp and hard-headed when you latch onto something. Well, that's something I admire.
Hard-headed? Aren't you a bit impertinent? I'd rather say determined.
Why did your people mark the passage from outside?
Papa came up with that. He said one never knows what might happen, so I thought up the idea with the crosses. Why do you ask anyway? Would you rather search all over the woods for it?
No. It's really smart. And very convenient for me. Thanks again. Have you ever used the passage?
No, it's never been needed. Thank God. But everything is ready there. There's a strong door and a ladder that we can pull up behind us. That ought to give us enough time to get to the end and dig our way out.
Sorry, I've got a bit lost in all this. How did you say I can find that passageway?
I've told you already, haven't I? Have you really forgotten? Or do you just enjoy talking to me so much? At the crossroads near Hushtal's stud farm is a wayside shrine. Nearby is a group of boulders by the road. Behind them, you'll find another chapel, an old one. When you look through the gap in it, you'll see ruins on the hill opposite. Go there and look for a stone cross. Go in the direction that the top of the cross is pointing until you find another cross. Again, carry on the way that the cross is pointing, and you should come to a small clearing, where there's a cross in the stones or something like that. I can't recall exactly.
Sure. And there I start digging. Got it. Thanks.
And don't forget to take a torch. It'll be dark in the passageway, obviously.
How did you become a knight?
I paid for it. When Malashov was vacated, I bought that fortress. Well, first I negotiated with King Charles for permission. Then it was entered into the land register as my property, and my house became the Knights of Malashov. There were still some legal requirements surrounding it, but I won't bore you with those. But personally, I'm pleased that in the history of our house, it was me who managed to elevate it to the nobility.
You can simply buy a title? Just like that?
Definitely not just like that. But in a certain manner of speaking, you can, yes. It's not at all such an unusual practice among rich burghers nowadays. In Prague, for example, there used to be the Rokitsan burgher family, and they bought Okorsh. That's a castle 3 times bigger than Malashov. It may also happen that some commoner lends the king a lot of money, and the king doesn't have the coin to pay back the debt. So he resolves it by pledging one of his castles. Nevertheless, the old nobility, such as Vavarak von Hradec, don't like it, and they despise us for it. They see us as upstarts without a proper ancient origin. But I think in a few generations, if I ever marry Rosa off, that is, it won't make any difference anymore. We'll be established among the nobility, and all these injustices will be a thing of the past. I pray that my house will endure, and that my descendants will live to see it.
Well, enjoy your well-deserved spurs. May your house endure and prosper. What's the political situation in the city? I mean, the politics of support for our side.
All in all, miserable. Bailiff Plymel is also on Sigismund's side, as is his son, who's so corrupt even Vava could envy him. And I tested the waters among the councillors, but it doesn't look good for us at the moment.
And what about the church? Couldn't it be turned around? You can see Sedlet's monastery from the city. The abbot must have some influence, doesn't he?
He does, and his relationship with the city is not the best. First of all, the abbot is burning through his property. The monastery is having financial difficulties, and all it can do is sell off its village properties. And who do you think is buying them up? The Kuttenberg burghers, first and foremost. Then there's a long-standing dispute over the manning of some churches, which goes back as far as I can remember.
Well, then how about promising the abbot support and getting him on our side? Promises cost nothing, right?
Ha ha! I see you're no newcomer to politics. But we hesitated with the abbot, and he decided to throw in his lot with Sigismund. In fact, he's given him accommodation, and is wining and dining him.
You're right, Sir Kinsman. It's a pity.
It is. I even wanted to donate them part of my library collection, which they've envied for years, but they can forget about that now.
Who sits on the city council?
Wenceslaus Forsucher, Jerome Naz, Franz Rosenthal, and Andrew Polner. They're from the old and rich burgher families, just like us. Martin tried to negotiate some support from them, but, as you may have heard, we didn't manage to win anyone over. They either have their interests connected with Sigismund, like Naz and the others, or they just don't want to commit themselves, so they don't lose their property and status. That's the only thing you can count on them for.
But they don't sit alone on the council. What about the others?
They don't. Then there are the representatives of the guilds, but to be honest, they don't have that much power, at least not for now. Compared to the old houses, the guild masters only quite recently acquired their positions on the council, so they probably won't risk losing them. But you're right that we might find support among them, especially by promising more council seats. The thing is, we're not yet in a position to fulfill such a promise, and they're well aware of that.
And what about Vavak? He sits on the council, and we've got him in our pocket, right?
He does, along with other representatives of the Italian court, and they'll do what he tells them. Except maybe Friedrich Kummel, but that doesn't matter. Vavak is a slimy bastard who'll sink us as soon as he gets the chance. So I'd like to count on him only when absolutely necessary, because as soon as he learns something he could exchange for a pardon from Sigismund for the crimes you've uncovered, he'll use it to untie his hands.
Thank you for filling me in on the local situation.
Well, there wasn't much positive in it. But you're welcome.
I'm glad we took care of Vavak without resorting to weapons. They outnumbered us, and they had heavy armor. I'm not really sure we could have held out against them.
If the worst came to the worst, we'd have had to try. We couldn't have backed out. There was too much at stake. But otherwise, I agree with you. We saved the lives of my soldiers, and maybe even our own. Thank goodness for that. After all, I've already fought my hardest battle, and don't need any more like that.
If I may be so bold, can I ask what the hardest battle you mentioned was?
Not long ago. when Sigismund's army besieged Kuttenberg. Back then, I saw things differently than I do today. I'd been advocating parleying instead of armed resistance. I feared, and rightly so, that Sigismund would use it as an excuse to seize property. But I was in the minority, and even my son Venser was convinced of the opposite. We quarreled a lot over that. In the end, he told me that even though I had acquired noble status, my days of glory had faded. He wanted to prove the Knights of Malashov didn't wear spurs just for show, and that we'd earned the armored arm in our crest. When an opportunity arose to strike against the enemy, he rode out, despite me forbidding it. Or maybe because of it.
What happened next?
More importantly, what happened before? Some French knight appeared from God knows where. He said he was a renowned military leader and a personal friend of King Wenceslas, and that it was his sacred duty to defend the city. I no longer know why or how, but he was appointed commander of the city's defense. One of the first things he did was attack the huge trebuchets that were ruining our fortifications. It seems they were poorly defended, and when the Frenchman was putting together a cavalry unit to counterattack, my Venser joined. Only it was a trap, the oldest and most primitive trick, and our renowned French knight let himself get taken in. Of course, Sigismund, or whoever was in command, didn't leave his precious trebuchets unprotected. He had his own cavalry in reserve. When I learned where Venser had gone, I gathered my men and went to his aid. But when we arrived, it was all over, and there was nothing left for us to do but to collect the bodies of the fallen. Venser among them. So, you heard it. My hardest battle was the one in which I didn't even raise my weapon. But I won't make the same mistake a second time. It won't bring Venser back to me. But I'll defend what he tried to defend to my last breath. Our estates, our honor, and above all, our Rosa. God be with you.
Careful!
Come for a whipping, eh?
My respects to your service.
Yeah. Don't think you're gonna curry my favour.
Apparently, the city council is organizing another collection for repairs to the fortifications. Are they out of their bloody minds?
I know very well what you've done here.
Can we practice fighting together?
Ah, what did you have in mind? Nur trainieren oder richtig?
A practice fight will do.
What weapon do you choose?
I'll try a mace and a shield.
Nein, I'll give you a Schlagstock instead of a mace. And what about me? Wählen Sie.
You take a staff.
As you wish. Können wir starten?
I'm ready.
Let me know when to start attacking.
Death! You've no chance against me. Die, you wretch! For glory and carnage, die! Die, you wretch!
Ach was! Ach was! Ha! Zeig, was du drauf hast!
Victory or death! I surrender. Enough. Victory or death!
Oh, das reicht jetzt aber. What next?
I better have a rest.
Ja. You know where to find me. Na los!
Victory or death! Ah! Enough! I surrender. Burn in hell! Victory or death!
Oh, Dummkopf! Genug. Whew. Let me catch my breath before we continue.
I've had enough. I need a rest.
Yeah. You know where to find me.
So, you finally got your way, eh, Menhard?
Yeah. It is a great feeling after all the effort. It is to a large extent your doing, Heinrich. Vielen Dank nochmal. In token of our thanks, recognition and Freundschaft, I wish to make you a gift of this Langschwert, which I received from my Meister in Frankfurt on the day I too became a Meister.
My word. Thanks a lot, Menhard. This is a great honor for me.
You have earned it. Do not lose this Schwert or bring shame on it.
You can count on me.
And that is not all. Listen well. I also agreed with Friedrich that we will do things richtig. In Kuttenberg, we will hold a great and glorious tourney every week. Offensichtlich, as I promised you, I can teach you the art of sword fighting from now on. I show you Meister technique of handling Langschwert. Then Arne show you the basic teachings of combat stance. Arne learned a lot from me and mastered also other weapons than the Langschwert. He has much to teach you too.
What about Arne? How's he doing?
Gut, Heinrich, gut. The local apothecary and physician Albicus did an excellent job. Arne's eye all right. His sight come back. Only scar remain. Gott sei Dank.
I'm glad to hear that. A tourney? That sounds good. It will be here in the city.
Genau. It will be by the walls, near to our Fechthalle. One time each week. Always with Langschwert, sword and shield, and free combat in heavy armor. If you want to join, come to mir. I write you down and tell you more about it. It will be good practice for you, and you can also gain good rewards and glory.
The art of sword fighting, you say? What kind of things can you teach me?
Alles. Langschwert and other weapons. Meisterschläge and technique. Or just practicing combat. Wie du willst.
What do I need more practice for? I beat the Kuttenbergers in combat, didn't I?
You know a lot, but not alles. Practice makes a Meister. And fate plays a big role and may not smile even on a Meister. Remember that. Do not be proud, be modest. Pride will come back to haunt you in Gefecht and in life. Remember that auch. And since you are in our Bruderschaft, I will teach you one echt Meistertechnik that no one else here knows. You only have to ask.
Thanks for everything, Menhard. I'll certainly come and see you sometime.
Good. One last thing. If you are in need of a bed, you can sleep in the loft of our Fechthalle. Möge Gott mit dir sein.
You said you'd teach me some kind of special technique.
Ja, genau. Get ready. I will show you a special longsword technique that Meister Lichtenauer taught me. It is called Oben abnehmen. First, you attack your opponent's head. If he blocks your strike, attack his face as if you were trying to stab him. If he deflects your blade to the side to defend himself, move your blade around his and cut his head open. If you do that in an unexpected direction, your opponent will have little time to react, and you will strike him well. Come, let us practice zusammen. Ja, ja!
Scheiße!
Das hast du gut gemacht, mein Freund.
Oh! Ja. Für den Anfang.
I want you to teach me, Menhard. Show me all the tricks and mysteries of the art of swordsmanship that you know.
Sehr gerne, Heinrich. But you will have to donate some money to our brotherhood. Aber keine Sorge, mein Freund. You would not learn more even in Nuremberg. You would just pay more.
You're a master of the sword, so what else but a longsword? I want to learn everything so I can be your equal.
You certainly do not lack in confidence, und das ist gut. But there is always room for improvement. And even the greatest master needs to train constantly and test his art against other swordsmen. Wie auch immer. Die erste Lektion ist, in battle, the deciding factor tends to be skill. But more often than that, it is luck. So even the greatest master must be humble and cautious.
I understand.
Gut, mein Freund. Let us see just how well you understand. Los geht's, mein Freund!
I tell you, and you dob me in. Quality goods? The Lord sees you.
Tools! Quality tools! Sheet metal! Chains here! Iron and steel!
Stand on the market. Come and take a look.
Who are you? And what are you doing here, lad?
I'm Henry. I'm supposed to help you write a letter?
Oh, right. Kwiatoslav sent you, didn't he? And there's something you're supposed to tell us, though.
Truth is worth more than silver?
Well, almost. But fuck the password. The main thing is you can write. Let's get started, eh?
First, tell me why there's all this secrecy around this letter. And why are we meeting here? It doesn't look like an office.
Well, that's the way it's done in Kuttenberg. There's a lot of coin at stake, so we take precautions. And secrets that everyone knows are no secrets.
But you don't mind getting a complete stranger to write the letter?
Of course we mind, but what choice do we have? If Kwiatoslav sent you, we'll take the risk.
All right, let's get to it.
Right, a nice, polite beginning. Greetings, Master Markhold. I hope you are in good health and good spirits, and likewise your wife.
Never mind his old woman. Is he even married?
A prick like that would bully a woman to death. Write this. You fucking arsehole. Release them and pay up, or we'll fuck you up.
We can't be so brutal. We have to be more polite. Markold is a merchant. He's all about coin. We need to, sell it to him.
He ain't no merchant, he's a murderer. Or do you think Thomas went off to see the world in his old age? He got rid of him when we started getting suspicious.
So? Thomas was a bastard anyway.
I'm just saying we have to stick it to Markold brutally, so he doesn't think we're afraid of him.
Bollocks! If we do that, he'll think there's no talking to us. We have to do it with a silver tongue.
Suit yourself. For all I care, you can just draw the fucking thing. It'll be shit anyway.
Well, do it like I said. So, dear Master Markold, I hope this letter finds you in good spirits.
Markold? I don't know him.
And you don't need to. He's a rich bastard. His house is close by, just beyond the town hall. Tailor's shops on either side of it.
Well, it occurred to me it might help me to write the letter.
He is an important man, and dangerous, and crafty, and that's all you need to know.
I'll make it sound a bit more refined. Greetings. I trust that this correspondence will find you in good health. Done. Next.
We are writing to you about a serious matter concerning our deal.
That you fucked us over on, you cheating scum!
Would you please let me compose this letter?
All right, forget I spoke.
Now, where was I? I am writing to you in regards to a serious matter concerning our deal, which did not exactly go well.
We are writing to you in good faith that we can resolve this misunderstanding, which was surely unintentional. What's next?
Right. What was it I wanted?
To get to the point?
Why don't you get to the door and fuck off? If you keep sticking your nose in, we'll never get it written.
We'll never get it written if you don't get to the point. But suit yourself, I'll shut up.
So, it didn't end up well. We would like this. We expect from you some remedy that will lead to improving things for both sides. If you refuse, it will lead to some deep shit, misfortune.
What did that fella actually do to you?
You'll find out. Sometime, maybe.
Write and it'll all become clear.
All right. I'm writing. We ask you to rectify the situation to the satisfaction of both sides in this dispute. Your refusal, on the contrary, would result in your own downfall. Written. Next.
All right. Write this. Let our mates go free. Otherwise, we'll go to the powers that be and they'll kick your arse for you. Or your backside, or something polite.
Finally.
The powers that be? Have you got some dirt on him? What the hell did the fella do?
That's none of your concern. The less you know, the better.
Ah, come on. I'm helping you, aren't I? I deserve a little honesty, don't I?
You do, and that's why I'm being honest with you. The less you know, the better.
free our captive brothers. Otherwise, we shall report your dishonesty to King Sigismund, and he shall see to your prompt punishment. Carry on.
Aye. Once they return to us safe and sound, we'll clear off and you'll never see us again. And your secret will be safe.
Ha! You don't really believe he'll let us go just like that?
Why not? If we disappear, he'll be out of danger. Him and his silver.
He'll be safe as long as he kills us.
Shut up, you idiot.
You shut up, you fool.
What was that about silver?
Nothing.
Don't give me that. I heard you.
All right, tell him. It don't matter now anyway.
Us and Markle made a deal. We stole silver for him. He took it out of the region and flocked it and gave us a cut.
Except he never actually paid us, the bastard.
So we started to set aside a bit of everything we nicked. Selling raw silver here in the city ain't exactly safe, but you can manage if you do it little by little.
Except that fucker Marco got wind of it, took our mates captive, and won't let them go till we give it all back to him.
You didn't have to tell him that. What if he shits himself and scarp us?
Don't worry, he's a good lad. He'll help us and he'll be rewarded. Isn't that right?
Of course you're right. I'm in with you. Silver is lovely. What do you want me to write then?
As soon as our mates come back safe and sound, we'll clear off and you'll never see us again.
Once our brothers have returned to us safe and sound, we shall vanish from these parts, and you shall never hear from us again. Done.
Maybe some polite parting?
Like, go fuck yourself, shitbag.
We can't put that in the letter, surely. That's definitely not done. We'll do it politely. Yours trustingly in your wise decision, the Mining Brotherhood.
With regards and trust in your wisdom, yours, the trustworthy men of the honest Brotherhood of Miners. That's that. The letter is finished.
Great. Give it to me so I can seal it and have it delivered. We are grateful for your help.
We are. And we're sorry for what we have to do now.
Can't we just leave it be?
He knows too much. What if he goes to the bailiff?
Oh, it'd be no good to him anyway. Does he know about our camp on Sukov Hill? Kurva. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
You must be the biggest idiot in the region. There's no way we can let him go now.
Fuck. Yeah. Sorry, lad. You're out of luck, I'm sad to say.
Why are you laughing? Have you gone mad?
You two want to kill me? Are you serious?
We've been breaking rocks all our life. They're a lot harder than a bloke in a bit of armour.
Maybe so. But rocks don't usually fight back with iron, do they?
If I hit you hard enough, you'll shatter as well.
Cut it out. He's right. We're no match for him.
What now then? Will you let me go?
What if we pay you extra? We might still need you.
After you just wanted to kill me? What do you want?
For you to take the letter to Markholt and give it to him.
Are you mad? You don't believe him, do you?
Oh, I believe he could kill us. Well, will you help us?
All right. I'll help you.
Agreed. Take the letter and deliver it to Master Markholt of Loney. He lives in a big stone house on the lower marketplace, next door to a tailor's. Got that?
Just make sure you don't tell him anything. Some miner gave you some coin to deliver a letter, and you did it, because you're a decent fella.
You don't have to wait for a reply, but watch how he reacts to the letter. If it goes well and Markold lets our mates go with them to Sukhov. There'll be a nice pile of silver waiting there for you. Don't you worry.
But if you betray us, there'll be a nice sharp blade waiting for you instead.
And if we see you going to the bailiff instead of Markold's place, you're a dead man.
All right. I'll hand it over. Keep my mouth shut. Mum's a word. Don't worry.
Second greatest, that I don't want to show them to him.
Christ, what's the world coming to? 2 popes, heretics, diabolical schemes.
And he tried to persuade me to give the church money for repainting.
And? Did you give him any?
What do you think? Do I look like a ninny?
I think the church really does need repainting.
Well, I'm not paying for it.
Look, the priest is the priest. But we all go to church.
Let the bishop or someone take care of it. I don't care.
I see what you mean, but there's one thing you can't deny.
What's that?
That you really are pretty for your age.
You think so? You're just saying that.
No, I'm serious. Don't take this the wrong way, but you really are.
So, noch eine Runde?
Fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
Criminal and a swindler. Gather round. Come and see.
Sir, I have something very important to tell you. I have proof here that Markold of Loney is stealing silver.
Markold? Scheiße. Show me this proof.
This letter was written by some miners who were stealing silver along with him, but then they fell out.
This looks useful. Do you know where these miners are hiding out?
They've got a hidden camp somewhere on Sukhov Hill near Grund. But what about Markold?
Don't worry, he'll get what's coming to. But it will be easier if one of those miners confesses first. Here's deine Belohnung, a reward for your service to the king, lad.
It was an honor, sir.
Is something wrong?
Soon will be.
Can I be of any help?
You can pray. It's a trap! Fuck!
I've been
I'll
attacked!
kill you!
Help!
No time!
In God's name!
Ha!